Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources.
Digital Finance. August 16, 7:31 America, New York. Fano Labs seeks to create regtech standard. Hong Kong has no deep tech. Fano Labs envisions an IPO from its AI solutions for banks and regulators. The post Fano Labs seeks to create regtech standard appeared first on Digital Finance.
Forex Live. August 16, 7:12 America, New York. China Cabinet reaffirms that it will keep economic operations within reasonable range. Remarks via state media. The final remark on RRR cuts isn't their usual one, so I wouldn't say that this confirms that another RRR cut is coming. That said, it is something to be wary of in case.
Daily FX Market News. August 16, 7 o'clock America, New York. Euro, GBP downtrend in place. Will UK data help the next leg lower? A cluster of high-importance UK data releases this week may well see sterling gain further against the euro.
Wall Street Journal Markets. August 16, 6:49 America, New York. NEO, Halliburton, Roblox. What to watch when the stock market opens today. China's economy slowed more than expected in July.
Forex Live. August 16, 6:40 America, New York. U.S. futures pull lower ahead of North American trading. Risk tones continue to stay on the defensive. U.S. futures look to have calmed down a little midway through European morning trade but are now pulling back lower again as we are about 30 minutes from London midday.
Wall Street Journal Markets. August 16, 6:40 America, New York. A garden supply stock with a fast-growing cannabis patch. GrowGeneration sells equipment to cultivate marijuana indoors and is one of the few companies that benefits from slow legal changes in the U.S.
The Library of Economics and Liberty. August 16, 6:30 America, New York. Nicholas Wapshott on Samuelson and Friedman. Journalist and author Nicholas Wapshott talks about his book Samuelson-Friedman with EconTalk host Russ Roberts. Milton Friedman and Paul Samuelson were two of the most influential economists of the last century.
BBC News Business. August 16, 6:05 America, New York. Airlines reroute flights from Afghan airspace. United Airlines and British Airways have stopped using airspace after the Taliban swept into Kabul.
Forex Live. August 16, 6:01 America, New York. Japan set to extend state of emergency measures to the 12th of September, report. NHK reports on the matter. This has been an ongoing story since the weekend, with NHK also adding that Japan is to expand the state of emergency measures to 7 additional prefectures as well. Forex Live. August 16, 5:42 America, New York. Fed officials weigh ending asset purchases by middle of next year. A summary of recent opinions at the Fed by the Wall Street Journal. The headline seems to suggest that this is a fresh headline, but when viewing the article, it appears to be more of a collective summary of what Fed policymakers have been advocating for over the past few weeks.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. August 16, 5:33 America, New York. Companies are hoarding record cash amid Delta fears. Cash and short-term investments on corporate balance sheets rose in the second quarter amid lingering uncertainty about disruptions from COVID-19, defying expectations of a spending spree.
Wall Street Journal Markets. August 16, 5:33 America, New York. Companies are hoarding record cash amid Delta fears. Cash and short-term investments on corporate balance sheets rose in the second quarter.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. August 16, 5:30 America, New York. Fed officials weigh ending asset purchases by mid-2022. Reducing bond buying sooner could provide more flexibility to raise interest rates if inflation stays high and unemployment falls rapidly.
Wall Street Journal Markets. August 16, 5:30 America, New York. State Street, firm behind Wall Street's Fearless Girl statue, is vacating New York City offices. Boston firm tells New York staffers they won't be returning to its Midtown Manhattan offices.
Daily FX Market News. August 16, 5:30 America, New York. DAX 30 shying away from all-time high as growth concerns loom. The DAX 30 retreats below 15,900 as political tensions and growth concerns take over sentiment.
BBC News Business. August 16, 5:18 America, New York. Pandemic. We got close to complete shutdown. Businesses say self-isolation rule changes will have a massive impact on reducing staff shortages.
Forex Live. August 16th. 5:18 America New York. Risk sentiment stays skewed towards the softer side in European morning trade. Risk tones remain more defensive but not quite as much as earlier in the day. A snapshot of the risk barometers in the market reveals that the softer risk sentiment is still prevailing, but things are slightly calmer in European trading so far.
BBC News Business. August 16th. 5 o'clock America New York. UK defence giant Ultra agrees to £2.6 billion Cobham takeover. The deal to buy the major supplier to the Royal Navy is being monitored by the UK government.
New York Times Business. August 16th. 5 o'clock America New York. What a UK staycation looks like in a pandemic. The classic summer holiday to Europe has been replaced by a trip to the shores of England, where business is good but owners struggle with worker shortages and COVID restrictions. Cycling from Freshwater Bay on the Isle of Wight.
Naked Capitalism. August 16th. 4:48 America New York. Is Western U.S. experiencing a megadrought? The U.S. West may be in a climate-fueled megadrought, but willingness to admit that, let alone address it, is awfully slow in coming.
Forex Live. August 16th. 4:35 America New York. AUD, USD down on the day but not much has changed from a technical perspective. AUD, USD is down 0.4% today, keeping near the lows in European trading. The pair is down 0.4% on the day to around 0.7338 currently, hovering near the lows as the more defensive risk mood and softer China data weigh on the Aussie.
Wall Street Journal Markets. August 16th. 4:32 America New York. Stock futures edged down after Dow, S&P records. U.S. stock futures edged down, suggesting that major Wall Street indexes would start the week with declines.
Naked Capitalism. August 16th. 4:24 America New York. A half-century since the beginning of the end of the post-WW2 economic order, marking the 50th anniversary of the end of the Bretton Woods economic system.
Daily FX Market News. August 16th. 4:05 America New York. USD and JPY higher on China growth concerns and rising geopolitical tensions. Safe haven FX kick off the week on the front foot as risk appetite sours.
Forex Live. August 16th. 4 o'clock America New York. SNB total site deposits W.E. The 13th of August 714.6 billion Swiss francs versus 713.2 billion Swiss francs prior. Latest data released by the SNB the 16th of August 2021 domestic site deposits 639.3 billion Swiss francs versus 635.9 billion Swiss francs prior week's release can be found. A decent increase in overall site deposits as it looks like the SNB is starting to come back into the picture after having seen EUR, CHF fall to fresh